8:14 Thursday morning. Staying active is an essential part of staying healthy, but making regular exercise a priority is easier said than done. I'm a workout nut. I love it, and I don't look like I at it as I have to work out. I look at it as I get to work out, and I thoroughly enjoy the time. Not everybody feels that way, though. Dr. Brent Wallis, Chief Medical Officer of People's Health, joins us now to share some tips for creating and sticking with an exercise plan. How you doing, Dr. B?
Hey, Tommy, I'm doing great. How about you?
I've been working out. I feel great.
Fantastic.
What are the health benefits of exercise?
Yeah, so exercise is just critical, really, for your entire body health from head to toe. And that regular exercise really can help you increase your energy, and it can increase your flexibility. It's going to give you more strength, especially make strong bones and muscles. And in our older patients, it can help them a lot with balance as well, which is really important. And if you've got something like high blood pressure or high cholesterol, exercise can really help to keep those under controls. And it also lowers your risk for a lot of those, long-lasting health conditions, things like diabetes and heart disease as well.
And part of our health is brain health, obviously. Exercise, does it affect that?
Yeah, absolutely. Exercise has a really positive effect on our brains, and it's really an immediate one. A lot of people, if you work out, you'll feel really energized from the endorphins that are released by the exercise. And those endorphins, little chemicals that make you feel better, they make you have more energy, they improve your mood, and they really boost your self-confidence. And so, again, that's why a lot of people will work out in the morning, because it really kind of sets your whole day and gives you more energy for the day. And then in the long term, regular exercise can really help you manage any symptoms you might have of depression or anxiety, and can actually prevent developing symptoms of depression and anxiety. You might also feel like you're getting more restful sleep after you exercise, and that is very much related to the exercise itself. It's been shown to improve your sleep. So overall, it's really excellent for brain health.
There is a, pardon the pun, night and day difference if I work out or if I don't. When I exercise, I sleep great. When I don't, it's not about that physical fatigue that just, I guess, tires you out, makes you sleep better. What's a good fitness goal for beginners, Doctor?
Yeah, we always tell everyone, and this is from a lot of different official agencies, but Department of Health and Human Services recommends at least 150 minutes, and that's 2.5 hours of exercise each week. So that's kind of a good goal to set as beginners. And it may seem like a lot of time, but actually if you break it up, it's really only 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. And you really do want to spread out your exercise. It's going to make your goals much more manageable to achieve. It's going to help you get used to exercising as well and kind of develop your own routine. And then for newbies, people just beginning exercise, it's going to lower your risk of injury. And then what you want to do in the long term is you want to aim for closer to 300 minutes each week if you can get that much. Research really shows that the more exercise you get, the more health benefits there are. So you want to try to gradually increase, based on what your activity level is and what your tolerance to the exercise is as well.
How would one go about creating an exercise plan?
So the first thing you want to do is talk to your doctor, especially if you've got any chronic medical problems or if you're taking any medications. You want to speak with your doc to ask them what's safe. You want to work with them to develop a really personalized exercise plan that's going to help your health problems, and it's also geared towards your activity level. And then another thing, if you're just starting out, is start small. Don't jump in and run a marathon. You're going to hurt yourself. It's okay to not have enough stamina to get through an entire workout, but you've got to start somewhere and shoot for that 30 minutes. But if you can only do 10 minutes a day, that's okay. You're going to get to longer sessions as you condition your body better. And then you do want to set some goals for yourself. What are you trying to accomplish? But you want to make sure that those goals are realistic. And you want to approach your exercise plan really with keeping in mind what you're capable of doing. Don't push yourself too far or too fast. That's where we see injuries happen. And just keep in mind that any exercise you're doing at all, even if you can only get 10 minutes in a day, is really a step in the right direction to healthy heart.
One obstacle I've found, I think people think that, well, why should I bother, like jogging, for example? I started jogging years ago, and I would say, well, I'm going to go one house today, and I'm going to go 2 houses and 3 houses, and you think it's a waste of time to do that one house, but you have to look at it as first maybe you have to work out to get yourself in shape to work out, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the whole concept of start slow, and you may not think it's significant, but if you inch up a little bit each day, each time you're exercising, you're going to get to your overall goal in the long run.
You'd be surprised. Speaking of motivation, what are some tips for sticking with that exercise plan?
Well, this is probably the biggest thing I always hear. People start an exercise plan, and then they just can't stick to it. And so you really want to pick something that you enjoy. You don't want to do exercise that's a chore. You want to explore different ways to work out, find out what you really enjoy. Like you were saying, jogging is really great, but it's not your only option. You can do a lot of really interesting exercise techniques. There's a lot of fitness classes that are offered at gyms and libraries or community centers around town. So if you're really nervous about trying out something new, you can enroll in a beginner class. So everyone is going to be new in a beginner class, so you can kind of learn together. It helps a lot, too, if you have a workout buddy, because that can give you extra encouragement, somebody to sometimes make you feel bad if you don't go work out. That can be very motivating as well. And then the other thing I tell people that's really important is make sure that you add variety to your workouts, because you don't want to get bored. This is a very important health activity, so you want to introduce new activities, changes in scenery, things that are going to keep you motivated and keep you going. So, if you normally do yoga, maybe switch it up and try a Tai Chi class. If you are normally, an indoor jogger on a treadmill, go outside and actually walk fast or jog out in the open air and take advantage of the beautiful weather we're having right now, too.
Staying active, an essential part of being healthy. We're talking to Dr. Brent Wallis, Chief Medical Officer of People's Health, about that exact thing. We come back, we'll delve into tips for exercising safely. 821 traffic now, WWL. 826.5, Tommy Tucker, WWL. Beautiful day for some exercise. We're talking to Dr. Brent Wallis, Chief Medical Officer of People's Health, our good friend Dr. B, about staying active being an essential part of being healthy. Dr. B, what are some tips for exercising safely?
Yeah, so, just like when you get in your car to head out for a road trip, you've got to fill it up with fuel, and your body's the same way. So before you start your workout, you've got to make sure you've got enough fuel in yourself so that you can do all the exercise you want to do, and you need to do that with nutritious foods. You want to make sure you have enough strength and energy to perform your best. And so, I always tell people some good pre-workout snacks or things that are not too heavy. So things like rice cakes, maybe with a nut butter. I like almond butter is really good. Fruit smoothies or protein shakes, you see a lot of people drinking those, and those are very helpful. And then trail mix with any sort of nuts and dried fruit. That's going to give you a lot of energy to do what you need to get done. And then don't forget, especially as we get further into summer, water is critical. Hydration is very, very important. So you want to make sure you're drinking a lot of water before you actually start exercising. And then if you're going to exercise for a prolonged period of time, make sure you're drinking water during and then certainly after to rehydrate your body as well. It's going to prevent you from getting muscle cramping and dehydration and can protect you from things like heat stroke and heat exhaustion, like I said, when we start to get to warm up. And then what's really important, too, is making sure that you take a little bit of time to warm up and cool down. You don't want to just jump into a high-intensity activity right away, because that is going to lead to things like muscle cramping and maybe even abdominal pain. So you want to do some low-intensity movements and stretching to get your body ready for the exercise, and then afterwards do the same, and that's going to help you recover a little bit faster.
A lot of people have a hard time finding the time. How do you carve out time in a busy schedule to exercise?
Yeah, it can be very difficult. Everybody's running around doing all kinds of stuff, and I always hear people say, I just don't have time to fit exercise in, but you can fit it in very interesting places. I mean, you can even, while you're brushing your teeth, you can do squats. One thing I tell people to do that you never see people do is if you're going grocery shopping, don't search for that space right next to the door. Park in the back of the lot. And that's going to give you a little bit of exercise as you're walking into the store. And then, try to schedule breaks throughout your day, especially if you've got a desk job. You want to set some time so you can get up, move around, walk around. Don't sit all day long. You've got to work that into your daily routine.
I look through the window. I see Dave Cohen getting ready to do the news, doing some squats as you say that, Doc. So you see that? You're motivating somebody already. Any final thoughts?
It really, just keep in mind that you get the most benefit from regular exercise when you pair it with other healthy habits. So like I mentioned, the nutritious foods, getting enough sleep is really critical, and managing your stress levels. And please, we say this all the time, do not smoke, and if you smoke now, stop, and then try to limit your alcohol use. And make sure you talk to your doctor about exercise before you get started. Remember, you want to make sure you've got a good, safe, effective exercise plan.
And the thought I would leave people with is you got to leave the high school thing behind you. You don't always have to get bigger, faster, stronger. That's not what it's about, right?
Not at all. It's not about body. It's how you feel about yourself, not necessarily how you look.
If you're constantly injuring yourself, maybe time to reevaluate?
Yeah. If you're injuring yourself, definitely you're doing something you probably shouldn't be. So talk to your doctor about what you should be doing.
That sounds dumb to you, but you'd be surprised how long it took me to learn that. Thank you, Dr. B.
Thanks, Tommy.
Appreciate
Have a great
your time
weekend.
as always. You too. Now, if you want to find out more about People's Health, you can visit the People's Health Medicare Center in Metairie. Beautiful facility there at 3017 Vets. Next to Party City, appointments are recommended, but walk-ins are welcome. You can go to the website, peopleshealth.com, or you can call them at 1-800-978-9765. People's Health has a 5-star rating. Not everybody has that. Only 32 companies have them. They don't have one in every state either, but that's the only one in Louisiana. Go to peopleshealth.com right now. Time for WWL First News.